these are not necessarily the 10 best athletes, but I thought they were the athletes that had the best year.
Okay.
They overcame things. It heightened their talent. They had the best year in sports. So let's go number 10. I would say Joe Burrow. So first of all, he's the first quarterback since Cam Newton to win a national championship, win the Heisman, and then get drafted number 1. And then he goes to the NFL and had 5 300-yard passing games before he tore his ACL, MCL. He was going to break Andrew Luck's record. So it's kind of a storybook season. And he had a really interesting journey like Cam. Cam went to a junior college, went to Florida, transferred to Auburn. Burrow went to Ohio State, transferred, sat for a while. It was a really good year for Joe Burrow, number 10. I would say Josh Allen. The leap, he had 8 games with 300-plus passing yards this year. He didn't have a single game passing for 300 yards in his first 2 years in the league. It's a city that loves its football. I cannot really compare him to anybody else but maybe Troy Aikman, where you're watching the first year and nothing works. You're watching the end of the second year and you're like, wow. But the third year, you're like, is he the best or second best quarterback in the NFL? Josh Allen, number 9. How about Dustin Johnson? First of all, he won the Masters. He was 20 under par. That was a Masters record. He's named the PGA Tour Player of the Year, and there's a lot of really good young sticks in golf. He's now the best player in the world. Number 1 player in the official world golf rankings. Number 1 on the PGA money list last year at 33. Right now in a crowded field of tremendously gifted young golfers, you the man. How about Michael Jordan? Wasn't bad for his shoe sales, I'll tell you that. The Last Dance documentary, it won an Emmy for Outstanding Documentary, and it was great. Very pro-Michael, but that's okay. It was the most viewed ESPN documentary ever. It averaged about 6 million people. And to be honest with you, it spiked his shoe sales. Just about when we're ready to anoint LeBron James the greatest this and that, Michael calculatedly moves in with The Last Dance, which saved Joy and I's took us, gave us 8-10 weeks of great rants and thoughts, and it was a marvelous documentary that it really made me love Michael all over again. How about Anthony Davis? He was brittle. He wasn't a leader. He goes into the finals, and he's only the 8th player in basketball history to win an NCAA championship, an Olympic gold, and an NBA title. He and LeBron from day one. They even worked better than Wade and LeBron. They just worked day one. Their games fit perfectly. Their personalities do. And he was a dominating playoff performer. 28 a game, 10 rebounds, good passing, 3.5 assists, 1.5 blocks. And it really was. There were many nights you felt like it was Anthony's team. He was an unstoppable force and a more consistently great defensive player than LeBron. Anthony Davis at 6. How about the resurrection of Jimmy Butler? Head case, diva, hard to get along with. He's only the 2nd player to go to the finals, lead his team in everything. Points, assists, blocks, steals, rebounds. The only other guy to do that, it's like 4 years ago, was LeBron James. It's one of the great finals ever. He just got exhausted. I mean, by the end of the finals, he was just tired of taking all those kids in the back seat of the van. He's like, kids, get out of here. I'm exhausted. But he reached the NBA finals in his first season with the Heat. It was a really risky move where he left a much more talented Philadelphia team. He had a bad reputation. I had said, little difficult, not sure if I'd have made the move if I'm Miami. He became a leader, totally resurrected his entire brand. He is a go-to force in the league. Tom Brady won the divorce, and that matters. That has been a 15-year-old question. Is it Brady or is it Belichick? Well, the Patriots stink and can't move the ball, and Brady's going to the playoffs again. He also signed a 2-year, $50 million contract, so it's not bad there. And as he said a couple of weeks ago, I'm never going back up to the Northeast. He loves the jet skis and the water and the temperature. Listen, old people move to Florida. It's easier on the bones. And it took him a while, and it's been a bumpy ride, but he is having a remarkable, not a Matt Ryan year like we predicted, more like an Aaron Rodgers year with Tampa Bay. Here for Mookie Betts. the first or second best baseball player. He won with the Red Sox. They could no longer afford him, so they made a big trade to the Dodgers. He was exactly the juice and the energy a very good franchise needed that could not get over the hump. He was unbelievable in the Atlanta series. He won that. He was good with the glove. He had power. He hit for average. And oh, by the way, he signed a 12-year, $560 million contract, so he'll be driving a nice car to Dodger Stadium. He really is an old-school baseball player. He's an athlete that could have played multiple sports, and he won games everywhere, on the bases, at the plate, in the field. He and Mike Trout feel like they're just a different level than everybody else in the sport. Patrick Mahomes had a pretty good year, not going to lie. First Super Bowl for the Kansas City Chiefs since 1970, Super Bowl MVP. As a college player, didn't know much about him. And he came from behind. I thought this was great. He came from behind in every playoff game by at least 10 points. He had struggled in the Super Bowl, then he made that huge throw. And it was also good because the love between him and Andy Reid, one of the most respected guys. Andy Reid for years had been a great coach, couldn't get over the top. And it looks like the kind of relationship. I mean, you can really see it. It's like a Staubach-Landry. Like, you just know they like each other, they respect each other, they fit with each other. The thing could last for 12 years. All right, LeBron. Fourth title, fourth finals MVP. Only MJ's got more. Let's be honest about it. He moved to Los Angeles. They were a wreck. The ownership, the brother and the sister didn't get along, the Magic situation, Rob Pelinka, the tragedy of Kobe, David Stern passed away, a pandemic, they played in a bubble, and it unraveled every single veteran team in the bubble. Milwaukee's an old team, struggled. Toronto wasn't right. Boston wasn't right. The Clippers unraveled. The one veteran team, because the bubble was great for kids. They didn't have families at home. They loved the bubble. It's like the AAU. The one veteran team that literally got better was LeBron James, and he made kind of a quirky, weird, old roster with a lot of disparate parts. JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard, Rondo. That's not going to work, is it? By the end of the year, they were easily the best team in the NBA. Even the shirtless J.R. Smith. It just all felt right for LeBron James. Our 10 athletes, not necessarily the 10 best athletes, the 10 athletes who had the best year. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.